Hello guys, my name is Cuban and welcome to my first ever video guide. Today we'll be looking at Black Desert. I'm going to try and explain the game's fast-paced combat system in a brief but concise manner. I do hope you find my content helpful and insightful for both old and new players alike. Also, don't forget to subscribe and follow my Twitch channel to watch my stream live. Alright, so let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is crowd control. Crowd control mechanics within Black Desert are no different than those found in other MMOs. For example, some classes have abilities that stun or knock down, others that float you in the air or bind your opponent to the ground. These abilities are powerful since they allow you to initiate crowd control sequences and perform a combo on the enemy. These are the available crowd controls in the game: stiffness, knockdowns, grabs and bounds, floats, and stuns. A few others that are worthwhile mentioning is down smash and freeze, but we'll leave those for another video. Keep in mind that there are limitations to these crowd controls, meaning they cannot be strung together infinitely because the target becomes immune after a couple of them, with some exceptions. And what I mean by that is that there are some extended combos that some classes can perform, but again, we can leave that for another video. The current limit is a total of 2 from any of the CCs mentioned above, with the exception of stiffness, which counts a total of 7 instead of 1. For example, a float will count as 1, and a stun will count as 1. That would be my 2 CC limit. However, a stiffness counts as 0.7, meaning you could do a stiffness into a float, into another float, or a bound. Okay, perfect. Well, now that we've talked about what CCs are and how they work, let's discuss how to protect against them. So there are 3 forms of protection offered from class abilities. These protections are super armors, forward guards, and iframes or invincibility. Super armor abilities offer protection against crowd control effects. However, it is important to mention that although you cannot be CC'd, you are susceptible to damage from other players in these super armor abilities. Some of the pros are protection from all incoming crowd control regardless of the attack angle, and some of the cons are you take damage from all sources while in super armor, and you could be grappled. You cannot be CC'd, but you could be grabbed, so keep an eye out for that. Classes that bring a lot of super armors in their kit are Strikers, Lawns, and Succession Berserker. Although, given the recent changes from last patch to Berserkers, I wouldn't place them on this list. Next up is forward guards. These frontal guards are exactly that, a guard. These forward guard abilities not only protect you against incoming crowd controls, but also, unlike super armors, it will prevent damage, as long as your guard gauge holds. Your guard gauge, it's a small meter, small little blue shield similar to the frontal guard protection icon. It shows up parallel to it and it has a small number within it. This number is a percentage of your current remaining guard. However, it is extremely important to note that for this protection method to be effective in doing its job, your targets have to be in front of you. Some of the pros for forward guards are protections from incoming frontal crowd controls and damage, and some of the cons is you can get CC'd from lateral and back attacks as well as grabs. Keep an eye out for that. Classes that bring a lot of forward guards in their kit are Warriors, Valkyries, and Succession Novas. As a matter of fact, all 3 of these classes have both super armor and forward guard in their guard stance.
They're gonna need a fucking wrecking ball to take me out of here.
Perfect. And that brings us to our last method of protection, which is iframes or invincibility frame. This particular mechanic completely, pretty much, ignores the laws that govern this game. I mean, this Giga Chat class is practically skadoodle on over to a different dimension, Doctor Strange style. It's crazy. During this protection, the player is basically phased out of the game's server for a brief moment. I assume it goes without saying that this form of protection is by far the strongest, due to the fact it makes the player immune to status effect as well as damage. Some of the pros are protection from all crowd controls and damage, and it's immune to grapple. Classes that bring a lot of these abilities in their kit are Sorceresses, Ninjas, and Kunoichis. At this point in the video, you must be asking yourselves, Cuban, is there any way I could annihilate my enemies, exterminate, and decimate the opposition with very to no little risk to me? Well, my friends, you are in luck. This is Protect the CCs. engineered and developed by a group of sadistic and cruel game developers, specifically made and forged in the fires of hell to exterminate anyone who gets in their way. Needless to say, Protect SECs are one of the strongest attributes any class could possess. And that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun and it was informative. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe icon and the bell. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one.